Good morning, class. Ayan naman po, papalapit na ang tag-init, and because of that, ayan, 3 araw po tayong asynchronous sa ating school. So, para po tayo lahat di po mahuli sa ating lesson, I opted to record our last, second to the last topic for this before our midterm. So, for now, we're going to discuss about media literacy. Now, so what is media literacy? The word literacy, once again, on our previous lesson, diba, it describes the ability not just to read and write, but also be able to comprehend, diba, kung ano yung nababasa sa yung sulat natin, no? Reading literacy and media literacy have a lot actually in common. Reading starts with a recognizing letter, so as media literacy, no? So reading starts with recognizing letters. Pretty soon, readers can identify words and, most importantly, understand what those words mean. Readers then become writers. Within more experienced readers and writers develop strong literary skills. Now, media literacy encompasses the practices that allow people to access critically, evaluate, and create, manipulate media. It is not restricted to one medium. So once again, di ba nga po, in reading literacy, or the general definition of literacy, be able to understand, comprehend the letters, be able to read and write, di ba? In media literacy, of course, magkaakibat po yung dalawang definition po na yun, no? A person can be a media literate if at the first step, dapat mo lang umintindi ng language o ng mga signs and symbols. So, media literacy education is intended to promote awareness of media influence and create an active stance towards both consuming and creating media at any medium, di ba? So, it's either siya po ay isang traditional medium o multimedia, such as yung video, audio, or tawag dito, visual medias. Na education for media literacy often uses an inquiry-based pedagogic model that encourages people to ask questions about what they watch, hear, and read. Once again, class, the main purpose of literacy is to know if the person was able to comprehend o naintindihan niya ba yung nakikita niya o kanya nababasa. So, in education, sa media literacy class, of course, it uses the same method, no? Kung paano po mag-i-elicit itong mga media na to ng parang, anong pagkakaintindi nila, ano yung pagkakaintindi nila, or opinion nila regarding on that specific media. Okay? It's either what they watch, hear, and of course, but read. So, media literacy moves beyond the traditional formats of written and print text and moves to examining more contemporary source. Just like what I told you, the world is evolving, right? Technology is evolving as well. So, kung dati po tayo ay more on traditional media, mga teachers, gumagamit tayo ng mga elementary kayo, diba? Gumagamit kayo ng Manila paper, ng cartolina, of course. Those type of traditional is sometimes not that reliable, diba? On this year, diba? Sa century na ito. So, it is better that if you're able to adapt the modern and contemporary medias. Now, so, for example, this one. So, we got here si ma'am. Ayan. Si ma'am na gumagamit ng isang IM. Instructional material niya is, ayan, kuturo siya, and then of course she's wearing headpiece. However, in this on the other side, for a while, sorry for that one, sa other side naman po, gumagamit naman po ng television, a laptop, and speaker for the teacher, di ba, para magpahawatig ng kanyang lesson. Some examples of media literacy included but not limited to: first, television, video games, photographs, and audio messages. So, lahat po actually pwede maging forms sa media, di ba? Pwede po simple, kahit na simple na printed, di ba? Sa ating mga tar papel, or even yung ating cartolina and Manila paper. So those are included in media literacy. So media literacy education provides tools to help people develop receptive media capability to critically analyze messages, offers opportunity for learners to broaden their experience of media, and helps them develop generative media capability to increase creative skills and making their own media message. So once again, ang end goal lang po natin dito is for them to first is to understand what the message behind those media. 'Di ba? So pag hindi mo na elicit yung message na ine-intended mo, baka hindi po effective yung media na ginamit mo. So I hope na gagamit kayo na mas better na media for you to deliver kung ano yung message na pinapakita ninyo. And once, of course, the student be able to understood kung anong message na deliver nyo in your media, of course, the next step is for you to ask them to create another form of media for them to express what they have understood. So, kung anong pagkaintindi nila. So, those are the steps and the process of media literacy in educational system. So, for example, this one, di ba nga, ayan, si ma'am nagpapabasa, nagpapaquiz, di ba? And then, on the other side naman po, ayan, nagagamit po siya ng computer. For example, kung si ma'am po yung tuturo ng computer, di ba? The basic of computer or programming. And of course, if the student were able to understood kung ano yung mga languages ng programming, of course, the next step that you're going to ask them is for them to create like a web page, ganon, kahit isang homepage na kanilang sample web page. So, with that, sir, i-apply nila na nila, i-apply nila, and of course, they will use multimedia, computer, diba, for them to produce their own media. So, media are powerful forces in lives of youth. Ayan. Siyempre, 21st century. Ang mga kabataan ay dikit po sa ating mga cellphone, di ba? Dikit tayo sa internet and social media. So, music, TV, video games, magazines, and other media all have strong influence on how we see the world, and influence that of starts when infancy. So, pagkabata pa lang tayo, di ba? Kasi natin nga yung mga bata ngayon, madalas po, hindi na nilalaro, di ba? Ngayon, naka-cellphone na rin sila, including mga 3 years old. But still, though it is advantageous for this type of mga infant, mga baby, mga toddlers, na marunong mag-manipulate ng media, but still, it is better if they will be taught kung paano mag-manipulate ng anything na media using their motor skills, diba? Yun yung unang develop natin. To be engaged and critical media consumers, kids need to develop skills and habits of media literacy. These skills include being able to access media on basic level, to analyze it in a critical way based on a certain key concept, to evaluate it based on that analysis, and finally, to produce media on oneself. This process of learning media literacy skills in media education. Ulitin ko ulit, in media literacy education class, once again, the first step is for you to be able to access muna. So, paano basic knowledge, basic idea on how to access. Second thing is for you to analyze, intindihin. You will need to comprehend kung ano yung key concept, ano yung message ng media na na-access mo. Third is, of course, you need to analyze and, of course, evaluate. Tama ba yung mga nakalagay dito? Diba? Factual ba to? Anong kailangan kong titigan dito? Anong lenses ng criticism ang kailangan gamitin? And the end goal is that for them or for the student to produce another form of media na kung saan po i-showcase doon kung ano yung pagkakaintindi nila doon sa media na binasa nila. So, harap malinaw. Example, this one, ayan. Si ma'am nagtuturo ng how to manipulate computer, diba? At the end goal, of course, they need to come up with a design. As you see, nag-design sila. How they understood their lesson. So, why teach media literacy? For what? First, media literacy encourages young people to question, evaluate, understand, and appreciate their multimedia culture. It teaches them to become active, engage more in more engaged consumers and users. Class, of course, it will promote, 'di ba? Multimedia culture class. Once again, napaka-importante ng, of course, pag-understand ng other culture. And of course, for you to understand better other culture, isang step dyan is to do a research. Tumingin. Magsaliksik, di ba? And of course, you will need to use media for that one. Magbabasa kayo ng mga dyaryo, ng magazines, you look at the internet, Google, di ba? Those are media, no? So, of course, yan yung unang step natin. Media education brings the world into the classroom, giving immediacy and relevance to the traditional subjects such as history, English, health, civics, and creative art. It serves as a perfect bridge for subject integration and interdisciplinary studies class. So, of course, this media, for example, si Facebook pa lamang, 'di ba? Or si Google pa lamang, 'di ba? May mga bagay tayo hindi alam, type mo lang, 'di ba? So, what is ganito? So, who is Taylor Swift, 'di ba? Even though Taylor Swift nakatira doon, nasa US siya, alam mo kung anong ginagawa niya. Or sabi niyo, dito. For example, in scientific research, si James Webb, yung James Webb Telescope, diba? Search nyo lang, nasaan na yung where is James Webb now? Of course, it will give you specific area kung nasang space na po si James Webb Telescope. So, yun. So, abot kamay lang po yung mga, of course, yung ating mga knowledge when it comes to media na. So, media education embodies and furthers current pedagogy, which emphasizes student-centered learning and recognition of multiple intelligence and the analysis and management rather than just simple storing of information. So, just like what I told you, the process of media education, at the end po nun, kailangan po nila makapag-store, makapagbago pala, o makapag-manipulate, makapag-create ng new form ng media. That's why it's important for them for you as well to practice on how to be a media literate na isang mga future guro. Ayan. Sample ito po, alam naman natin itong ano po, naglalag siya. Itong ating multiple intelligences na, ayan. Fourth, media education is grounded in the sound pedagogical approach of starting learning where kids at. The media, music, comics, television, video games, the internet, and even art are part of life of all kids enjoy. Media create a shared environment and are therefore catalyst for learning. Uulitin ko, ito importanteng highlight to ng ating discussion, no? Media is a catalyst, diba? A catalyst, isa po siyang tumutulong lang po siya for you to supplement them the knowledge. Mahirap kasi niyan pag diyan mo talaga pinokus lahat ng lesson mo. 'Di ba? Purely purely online lang kayo, 'di ba? So mahihirapan po syempre ang pag-a-understand ng bata ng lesson ninyo. Mas maganda kung personal kayo nagtuturo. Okay, another example is that purely traditional naman kayo, 'di ba? More on sulat kamay, 'di ba? More on basa-basa, more on rhetorical, palitan ng question and answer. Mahirap 'yon. Diba? So, hindi na de-develop yung understanding ng bata sa lesson. Ang maganda po niyan is that you need to discover different approach po pagdating sa pagtuturo, especially in using multiple media or multimedia. Once again, media education is a catalyst for learning at yung mga media. So, media education encourages young people to use multimedia tools creatively, a strategy that contributes to understand by doing, di ba? Si ating John Dewey. So, understanding by doing class. So, I hope that you need to encourage your students on how to manipulate or create other types of multimedia. In society, concerned about growing youth apathy to the political process, media education engages young people in real-world issues. It helps young people to see themselves as active citizens and potential contributors to public debate. So, excuse me, of course, media literacy will assist the student or will help the student para maging mulat yung mata nila sa katotohanan. So, kung ano nangyayari sa ating bansa ngayon, di ba? So, imagine mo, open ka lang ng social media, for example, TikTok, Facebook, may kita nyo nangyari sa ating bansa ngayon. May kita nyo yung pag-angat ng mga presyo or any political issues, may kita, accessible na siya. So, once again, you need to, of course, utilize those media accordingly at tama. So, kailangan hindi tayo nagbibigay ng mga fake news. Now, sample this one. Ayan, I hope na napanood nyo ito, no? Itong ating debate, itong senatorial debate po, no? Itong tanong ng bayan. So, maganda po yung pagpapanood ng ganyan. So, bayan. Nangyayari dito. Yan. In a diverse and pluralistic society, the study of media helps youth to understand how media portrayals can influence how we view different groups in society. It deepens your people's understanding of diversity, identity, and different class. Of course, the use of media, once again, sinasalamin niya kung ano ang buhay o kultura ng isang grupo ng tao o ng isang komunidad. So, for example naman po, sa mga television natin, sa ating mga telenovela, diba? Sinasalamin ng mga telenovela kung ano nangyayari daw sa Pilipinas. For example, agawan ng lupa sa magkamag-anak. Sa TV, nakikita nyo, sa totoong buhay, nakikita po natin, di ba? Yung mga tipo, mga senaryo sa TV na hindi nyo inaasahan, di ba? Sa telenovela lang, tingin niyo totoong buhay, meron palang ganon. Nagkakahiwalay na magkapatid sa malayo, di ba? Of course, all of those sa media na yon will represent what is really happening right now, especially in a Philippine context. So, if you notice, di ba, alam kong niyo na naabutan to, napanood to. So, kailan nyo to? Ito sa gitna, si Sunshine Cruz. Tama ba? Tama. Sunshine Cruz, like, Bakekang. So, yung si Bakekang na yan, she represented yung strength ng mother, di ba? Ito po siyang nanay. Ayan, yung lakas niya bilang nanay. And next, media literacy helps young people personal growth and social development by exploring the connections between popular culture, music, fashion, television programming, movies, and advertising, and their attitudes, lifestyle choice, and self-image. Dito papasok ayang mga yan. So, of course, another form of media, such as music, di ba? Tandaan natin kung ano nagagawa ng music sa emosyon ng tao. Kung ang music mo malungkot, ayan, si Kichi Nadal, di ba? Ipamay sa makanta niya. Kung malungkot kayo, ayan, you will listen to sad song. Or gusto niyo pasahin sa linya, sige, mag-listen na ng pop song, yung bright na pop song. So, of course, all of this will help, of course, yung emotion ninyo para kahit papaano umangat. Ay, for example yan, si Jollibee Chicken Joy. If you're seeing Chicken Joy, di ba? Yung idea ng Chicken Joy, pagkakain ka masaya, di ba? Idea ng pamilya, di ba? Ng pamilya, na kumakain sama-sama. Pag nakita mo yung billboard nila, parang saya-saya mo, di ba? So, kasi lagi na angiti si Ann Curtis or any advertiser sa Chicken Joy, of course. Ayun yung power ng media, as you notice. So, pag dumadaan ako ng SLEX, nakita ko yung Chicken Joy na yan, pasaya din ako. Diba? At the same time, nagugutom. So, media literacy helps children critique media representation, teaching them to distinguish between reality and fantasy as they compare media violence and real-life violence. Media heroes and real-life heroes and media role models and real-life roles and expectations. So, of course, it will also help the students to replicate para maintindihan nila, mag-represent na kung sino nga ba yung totoo at sino yung hindi. Diba? May dalawang, for example, ngayon, panahon ngayon, may dalawang uri ng hero. Meron tayong superhero. Ayan, si Tanggol. Andyan si Darna, si Captain Barbell, Mulawin, Plastic Man. Of course, the children, 'di ba? Yung mga estudyante, hindi mo sila maniniwala totoo yung mga yan. 'Di ba? Of course, they need to think of sino nga ba yung mga makabago o panahong hero ngayon, mga bayani, which are the OFWs. Ayan. Ating mga parents, ating father, mother, ating mga kamag-anak na lumalaban sa ibang bansa para lamang po pag-aralin o tutusan ang kanilang mga anak sa Pilipinas. Na, so with most students turning first to the internet for research, media education is an essential component of information communications, technology education, assisting young people in developing critical thinking skills and strategies for optimizing searches, evaluating and authenticating information, examining issues of plagiarism and copyright. Ayan na nga. Si plagiarism sa si copyright. Media literacy, laging nauso dyan yung tipong pareho yung logo, pareho yung branding, pareho yung, yung mga catchphrases, yung mga lines. Of course, if you are media literate person, the first thing that you're going to do is to check, to analyze, diba? Analyze. So, meron na kayang ibang idea? Meron ba na ako ng idea na to aside from me? So, kung meron, kailangan kong baguhin. Diba? So, of course, if meron ka nakitang kapareho ng idea mo, kailangan mo talaga siyang baguhin. If wala, double check pa rin. If wala talaga at all, use the idea na. So, that's why importante dito yung palagi po tayo nagkakaroon ng ayan, ng mga research, defense, ayan. Or what nangyari? And of course, ang pinakauso ngayon, papanahon, si ChatGPT. Now, do you think class ChatGPT o AI ay, tawag dito, magandang gamitin naman pa mga mag-aaral? I know that some of you will say no kasi nga, tawag dito, mapapawala niya yung idea ng originality, di ba? Yung hindi maging creative yung student pagdating sa mga, especially sa mga essays, di ba? Actually, hindi naman po dapat gano'n ng paggawa. Tamang paggamit ng ChatGPT. Ang magandang gamitin sa ChatGPT is for you, as ChatGPT, to explain something. 'Di ba? If nagpa-generate ka siya ng essay, alam na alam ko kung ChatGPT yan o hindi. So, dapat po, paggagamit tayo ng ChatGPT, we need to be responsible. Do not use ChatGPT to mag-create ng essay, ng research entirely. Mali po yun. Kasi kasi for sure, malamang sa lamang, kahit ipa-humanize mo yung kay ChatGPT, meron kang kapareho ng idea. You only need to use ChatGPT to double check something, to explain. Okay pa? Yun yung magandang way. Paano natin i-misuse the ChatGPT. Now, let's go towards our 7 media literacy skills. So, first, understand and respect the power of mass communication message. Okay po? So, an important skill for media literacy is to acknowledge just how dominant mass communication is in our lives and around the globe. Of course, mass communication, napakalaki ng impact na yan sa ating mundo. Diba? Yung ating mga radio, TV, mga TV broadcasters, diba? Sila ang una nagbibigay sa atin ng impormasyon sa kung anong nangyayari sa panahon ngayon, diba? Especially na paano ngayon yung detain ni former President Rodrigo Duterte sa The Hague, diba? Of course, updated tayo palagi kung anong nangyayari ngayon sa ating bansa. And of course, I want all of you to always still to watch news. Actually, kahit sa TikTok or Facebook, may news na rin. That there's a reason kung bakit naggawa sila ng ganung platform for all of you to still makapag-access ng mga news, latest news sa panahon ngayon. Next is understand content by paying attention and filtering out noise. Anything hinders communication is a noise. We often turn ourselves into passive consumers and not really paying attention to the messages we receive as paper from editors while consuming media. Of course, ayan na naman po si noise, yung mga distractors, kung baga. 'Di ba? So, kailangan alam ninyo kung ano yung, titingnan yung message is sincere ba? 'Di ba? Yan po ba ay dapat po nandiyan? What if di nyo nakikita yung presyo ng bagong presyo ng product na ito? Napakaliit. Ang laki-laki ng design ng damit, tapos ang liit ng number ng product. Yung mga numbers. So, kailangan marunong tayo mag-discern, marunong tayo tumingin na kung ano nangyari kung anong meron sa produktong ito, okay? So, understand emotional and recent reactions to mass communication content in order to act accordingly. A great deal of mass communication content is intended to touch us on an emotional level. Therefore, it's important to understand our emotional reactions to mass communications. Excuse me. Ito na po papasok ngayon yung mga telenovela ulit. 'Di ba? So, mayroong rason kung bakit ang mga Pilipino parang masyado dito, Gina G sila. O, gustong-gusto nila yung mga telenovela, mga telebabad, lalo na yung mga panghapon. It's because nakaka-relate sila technically. Yung mga media na ito, sinasalamin niya kung ano yung nangyayari o yung real life situations ng isang typical na Pilipino. For example, itong kilala din Lustre and James Reid. So, kung sila sa mahirap, si James Reid sa mayaman. Which nangyayari, kadalasan, is mayroong mahirap and mayaman na lovers. Mula sa puso, Be Careful With My Heart. And of course, although si Koke, ayan, hindi naman totoo si Koke, hindi pa naman siya wala namang naglalakad na alien dito. May alien ba dito? Wala naman, no? Pero still, it represented yung idea ng friendship may come in other forms, pa. Pwedeng ibang staro niya sa buhay, pwedeng ibang anyo siya. May friend kang aso, may friend kang pusa. So, yun po yan. Ito, sino nga to? Ito yung, sila Judy Ann Santos. I forgot the title. Next, Kadenang Ginto. Agawan ng yaman, agawan ng ari-arian. Diyan palaging kilala ang modern, ang mga typical Filipino, typical family reunion. So, lahat po tayo nakaka-relate dun sa mga napapanood nating mga telenovela, telebabad, no? So, ayan, just lang magaling. So, next is develop heightened expectations of mass communication content. Would you consider yourself an informed consumer of mass communication? Do you expect a lot from mass communication? Of course, once again, kung kayo ay nanonood ng ating mga media, ng mga mass communication, ang una nyo titignan o tatanong sa mo, tama ba itong napapanood ko? Factual ba to? Diba? It is not actually bad for you to have research. Diba? Mag-search mo na saglit. Hindi masama yun. Pag may tinanong sa'yo yung tao, like, uy, alam mo ba yung nangyayari ngayon? Diba? Uy, alam nyo ba nahuli si ganito ngayon? Ano kayo nangyayari doon? Hindi dapat ginawa yun. Kasi nga, wala naman siya sa jurisdiction. So, mag-search ka. Tingin mo. Kaya siya nahuli kasi during that time, 'di ba? Pamumuno niya ganto ganyan. Nasa under pa tayo ng ganyan. So, yun yung mga ganung uri ng simple pero very impactful na research. Next, understand genre conventions and recognize when they are being mixed. All media have their own unique characteristic or certain distinctive standardized style elements that mark them as category or genre. Ito na po ang ating mga vloggers, 'di ba? Of course, si media po, once again, nagkasalamin siya ng mga buhay ng tao. Diba? Of course, kaya niya na po mag-elicit ng emosyon ng tao. Kaya niya po magbigay ng ideas sa mga tao. Iba-iba ang genre ng media. At isa sa pinakamalaking genre dyan ay ang ating, the mass communication or the mass media class. So, papasok din ating mga vloggers. Yan, sila Lloyd Cadena, Sila Mike Bustos, ayan. The Jimich ba yun? This one sa taas. And then, ayan, and so on and so forth. So, of course, sila po ang nagbigay sa entertainment, showing yung kanilang mga buhay na, of course, some of us may relate into. Now, the next is think critically about mass communication messages, no matter how credible their source. It is essential that we critically consider source of all mass communication message. Audiences not always hold similar perception regarding mediated message. Ato na nga, sa panahon ngayon, diba? Kung napansin niyo sa balita, iniisa-isa na yung mga fake news peddlers. Diba? So, mahalaga, especially sa inyo, mga guro, diba? Mga future teacher, to double check kung tama ba itong source na nababasa ko. Good source ba to? Diba? So, that's why, maganda, dapat lagi po tayong hindi nagdo-double check lamang po, hindi nagdo-double search. Maganda na mag-triple search na kayo, triple research for you to make sure to tatama yung ibibigay ng informasyon sa inyong mga students. So, kailangan po muna tayo mag-double check ng ating mga sources. Sample, ito. So, kung familiar ba kayo dito, kung sino to, kung anong TV station to. So, ito po ay ang SMNI, di ba? Yung isa sa mga TV, mga station ng isa sa mga infamous na tao sa Philippines. In which, na-issue sila sa fake news. No? Imagine niyo isa silang mass. Dito, silang mass media, multimedia sila. Silang news. Diba? Sa news sila. However, unfortunately, some of their content or some of the information that they're sharing seems like malayo sa kung ano ang katotohanan. So, imagine nyo, kahit ito po ay isa sa mga multi-million na mass media, maganda pa rin na lagi tayo nag-double check, nag-triple check, o nagtatawag natin yung fact check. So, yan. Next, understand the internal language of mass communication to understand its effect no matter how complex. This skill requires us to develop sensitivity to what's going on in the media. This means being familiar with the internal motivation behind the media, behind the action or the message. Ayun na nga. Yan. Nalalapit na naman ang ating tawag dito, ang ating eleksyon. Ang daming mukha sa gilid. Sabihin yan. Libreng paganto ganyan. Libreng ayuda para sa lahat. Libreng ayuda para sa ganto ganyan. Ang tanong, saan man galing yung pera sa ayuda? Mabuti kung galing sa kanlan, diba? Okay yan. Pati yung ayuda is galing sa tax ng tao. So, yun. At of course, pag sinabihan ka ng, ingat po kayo, do you think that person on the tarpaulin is really caring na mag-iingat kayo? It's just a text, technically. So, hanggat maaari, we know how to discern ano nga ba yung binibigay na informasyon. Ano nga ba yung message behind that media. Diba? Teaching media literacy skills provides students with skills that will help them foremost think critically about media. It also cultivates 21st century skills like creativity, collaboration, communication, and as well as increasing digital literacy skills through interacting with media information and technology. Media literacy instruction can also help your student develop into active consumers of information and determine credible sources, acknowledge biases in media, and be responsible creators of media. So I will leave you this message before we end. The media's most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty, to make the guilty innocent, and that's the power. Because they control the minds of the masses. So, apakalaki talaga ng influence ng media sa panahon ngayon. Imagine mo, may gawin ka lang gantong ganyan, pwede kang i-cancel. Diba? Imagine mo, mag-post ka lang ng ganito ganyan, pwede kang ma-recognize. Or pag hindi siya pasok sa opinion ng lahat, maka-cancel ka. So, we need how to we need to practice on how to properly use media. No? So with that said, my next activity for you, I already have uploaded in on our Google Classroom. If notice na, last week pa yon. Last week pa actually. So, ang kailangan natin gawin is that gumawa po tayo ng brochure like a trifold brochure. Trifold po, ulitin ko, ilang fold? Trifold like this. Ay, paano palitan yung kulay niyan? Ito pala. Trifold brochure. Class, kahit sa A4 lang to A4. So, any design. Trifold brochure. Now, ano po yung content ng trifold brochure natin? Remember yung pinagawa ko sa inyo ng ating global and cultural literacy? Kung ano yung pinresent ninyo sa akin na product o creative works, yun po yung content dapat ng ating brochure. Malinaw po ba? Ulitin ko, ang size ng ating A4 brochure ay A4 and siya po ay dapat ay trifold. The content is the creative works of your province. Excuse me. For example, I'm from Bicol. I'm from Owas Albay. Ang kilala sa Owas Albay ay puto. Puto Owas, yung matigas. Of course, I will put the picture of puto here. Puto Owas. Discover how puto Owas made. Lagyan mo dyan ingredients, ganito, ganyan. Tapos, the next page naman po sa likuran is, lagay mo kunyari, ano yung naging significance ng puto Uwas sa mga taga-Uwas noon. So, mga ganong mga content. You may put as many content as you want, diba? Make it, of course, informational as possible. So, of course, kailangan po creative tayo. I already have uploaded the rubrics online na po. So, kindly just double check the rubrics and for you to be guided. So, that sums up our discussion for today. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day. Bye for now.